Good evening, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Lindsay Smith.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Smith. Ma'am, you're here on a Superior Court failure to appear probation warrant. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing on October 16th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Ms. Smith, I am affirming the bond in the warrant in the amount of $250. That's a secured appearance bond. Technically, you can work with a bail bonding company. However, the amount's so low, I don't know if any will work with that number, but I may be mistaken. So if you pay your bond, just one moment, Ms. Smith, I promise I'll hear from you, okay? Just let me finish. It's okay, I just have a little bit more. So if you pay your bond, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on the 16th and promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons or not to possess or consume any alcohol. And you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Ms. Smith, you had something you wish to say?
Yes, I have no family. I have no way to pay it. Please, I can't. I have no way to get out.
Okay.
Please.
Well, so Ms. Smith, the issue is...
I'm going to Silver Living tonight. Please.
What's the Sober Living location?
It's here in Phoenix.
What's the name of it? What's the name of it?
I don't know. My TBI worker knows it. I'm sorry. I don't. But I'm going to Silver Living. Please.
So Ms. Smith, the last time you were in contact with probation was back in November of 2023.
I'm sorry. Please.
Well, so the issue is, Ms. Smith, that I don't have anything that would indicate that the reason you haven't had contact with probation for almost a year, that anything would be different tomorrow.
Please. I have no way to pay it, and I'm trying to go to Silver Living. I have a place to live. I just got a place to live yesterday. Please.
Yeah. So, Ms. Smith, the probation judge can decide to reinstate you to probation, but
Please.
again, because it's been so long...
I haven't had a phone. I've been homeless, and I'm sorry, please.
Yeah. And Ms. Smith, as I was explaining to someone earlier, if you were listening...
I have no way to pay it.
Yeah.
I have no family whatsoever.
And Ms. Smith, I know all of those things are hard, and the issue with the phone, the problem is, like I said, is that the situation that you had yesterday...
I'll get on monitoring, please.
But Ms. Smith, right, I mean, you've had this in your power to get this taken care of, and it hasn't happened for a year. And
I know, and I know but I just got released not long ago, and I didn't realize I only had 72 hours. I'm sorry. Please. I'll even do ankle monitoring. I'll do anything right now. I can't. Please. I'm sorry. I have no way, and I need help. And I know I need to go to rehab and everything. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can I please do ankle monitoring?
Right. No, Ms. Smith, here's the problem is that, again, I mean, it was so long. It was me that saw you back on September 24th. And I gave you a chance, Ms. Smith. I said, look, you've got to do this or else this is going to be the consequence. So good luck to you, Ms. Smith. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Jerry Stronach, November.
Thank you, Mr. Stronach. Mr. Stronach, you're here on a Justice Court warrant, a Superior Court probation failure to appear warrant, and failure to appear in an ongoing case. So we'll start with the Justice Court warrant. This is for failure to pay, and this is the 6th warrant that's been issued in this. So I have appointed you an attorney for limited representation regarding the bond issue only. You have an arraignment hearing at the East Mesa Justice Court, October 14th, 8:30 a.m. I am affirming the bond in the amount of $990, and it is a secured appearance bond. Your bonds in your other cases are $500 and $1,000. The $1,000 failure to appear warrant from your ongoing case, that is cash only. So I think you can work with a bail bonding company or financial institution on that, but I don't know what their terms would be. The other two are secured appearance, so meaning that you can work with a bail bonding company generally at a 10% rate. So that amount's going to be $1,490 at approximately a 10% rate, which would be $149. Again, that's if you work with a bail bonding company, but you can pay the amount separately yourself if you wish to do so. So if you pay your bonds, you will be released. You're promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department and contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Now, regarding your probation failure to appear warrant, you have a disposition hearing October 15th, 8:31 a.m. downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I have appointed you an attorney. As I stated, bonds the amount of $500, that one secured appearance, same conditions and restrictions of release. Finally, in your ongoing case, you have a status conference October 15th, 8:31 a.m. downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. It's a cash-only bond the amount of $1,000, same conditions and restrictions of release. Mr. Stronach, do you have any questions?
So I have 2 court dates the same day?
That's correct. They'll work that out for
So
you.
14th, 15th, and 16th, or 14th and 15th is all my court dates?
So the 14th is at the East Mesa Justice Court. The 15th will be at the Maricopa County Superior Court at the downtown Phoenix location.
Okay, so just the 2 days are my court dates?
Correct, because you've got 2 for the 15th, and like I said,
Okay.
they'll work that out for you when you go that day.
Now I got a question, because I finally got accepted into the Phoenix Rescue Mission, or Salvation Army, sorry, I get those confused. And I've been in custody for like the last 45 days, so I haven't been able to do some of the stuff that I have to do. Is there any chance I might be able to get released to an ankle monitor or something?
So, Mr. Stronach, unfortunately, no, and in particular, what I'm looking at here, that East Mesa Justice Court warrant, I mean, this is the 6th warrant, so that means now there's been 6 times you've been arrested on this warrant, had an opportunity to go and talk to the judge, and what I'll tell you, sir, is that no judge wants you to have to go to jail for not paying, but if you don't go talk to the judge and say, hey, judge, can we work something out? Maybe I've lost my job, or I'm only making a little bit, can I get on a payment plan or something like that, then I mean, unfortunately, your track record is that you're not going to go to court if you get released.
My last court date, I did the phone thing with them, and they're working with me, but when my payment was due, I was in custody, so I couldn't make my payment, which issued a warrant automatically. I've been doing everything I'm supposed to. I'm just asking for a chance to continue to prove it like I was before I got in custody over a Pinal County warrant I knew nothing about.
Yeah. Yeah, again, Mr. Stronach, I mean, what you're saying might be true, but I'm going off of the notes that I have from this, from the East Mesa Justice Court judge, that this is the 6th failure to pay warrant. So I am going to keep the bonds in place.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Mm-hmm. Alex Hunt and then Robert Stroud will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Alex Hunt.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt. Mr. Hunt, you're here on 2 Superior Court failure to appear for sentencing warrants, and you have a disposition hearing October 17th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am affirming the bond. It's a $2,500 cash-only bond in one, $50 cash-only bond in the other. So you can, I believe, work with a lending agency or financial institution such as a bail bonding company to pay these. I don't know what their terms would be, though. Or you can pay it directly yourself. So if you pay the $2,550, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You'll have an ankle monitor installed, and you must comply with pretrial services supervision. You also must comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons, and you must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department. Mr. Hunt, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Robert Stroud and then Eugene Helton will be on deck.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Yes, Robert Guy Strider Stroud, 10.
Thank you, Mr. Stroud. Mr. Stroud, you're here on a Superior Court failure to appear warrant, and you have a status conference October 15th, 8:31 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I'm affirming the bond. It is a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Secured appearance means you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral, so that would be $250. If you pay your bond, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You must comply with pretrial services supervision and with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department. Mr. Stroud, do you have any questions?
Your Honor, if I could say, I do have a full-time job. However, I don't have a title or anything for collateral or anything like that. Is there any way for you to modify the bond conditions? And I don't have a history of not appearing to court. I appear to court. This is a one-time thing that happened, and you know, I do have a full-time job. I'm living in Tucson, and I have a ride that's good, that'll get me back and forth to court. I have been trying to take care of this with my attorney, Mr. Kirk Morris, and he just said, you know, stay under the radar. Don't get in trouble until I can set you another court date for sentencing. I have been trying to get this taken care of. I know it's been a long time. However, I just don't have any way to pay that bond right now. And if I don't, I miss my job and I lose my job, then I won't have any way to even continue on to this. If there's any way that you could, Your Honor, modify those conditions and give me an OR, I can tell you, I can promise you I will be here for court. That's not an issue.
Yeah, I guess the issue though, Mr. Stroud, is I mean it's been 2 years.
Yeah, I know, that's what and I understand that. I've done rehab. I've done all the things that I need to do to get away from the original charge what it was. I know we're not here to discuss that. But I'm on the right path and I'm doing the right thing, and I'm not trying to avoid my responsibilities for what I did do. I'm not trying to avoid any of that. I would love to clear that up. I would like to ask if you could modify those conditions and maybe see it in your heart to give me the OR and let me show you that I will be back on the 15th for the things, because I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time articulating words right now because I've been trying to think about how I'm going to do this all day, and I don't know. So, I mean, Your Honor, it's up to you. If you look at my history, Your Honor, you can see I don't have failure to appear. I don't avoid or try to get away from what I do. I always have done my time and taken responsibility for what I've done. And I plan on doing that in this case as well. Some things happened and I missed court because I was in federal holding. It's been a whole lot of mess up. But for the last 2 years, I haven't done I haven't been in trouble in any way. I've just been working and trying to get a hold of Kirk Morris. Kirk Morris, you know, it's just I'm losing communication with him. I don't feel like he's a really good lawyer for my case. I don't know if this is the time to discuss all that. I don't know.
Well, I guess the issue though, Mr. Stroud, I mean, you say you have work in Tucson. You don't want to lose that job, correct?
I understand. Yes, that's exactly right. I was pulled over for a traffic violation on my way to work, and that's why that's how I got here. And I've already missed 3-4 days of work, and like it's the time for air conditioning. We're pretty busy right now. You know what I mean? So.
Well, I guess because here's the issue, Mr. Stroud, is that I mean I'm considering reducing the bond, but then I would need to do an ankle monitor. But an ankle monitor means you have to stay in Maricopa County.
Would have to be Maricopa County?
Correct. You have to stay in Maricopa County.
Yeah, then I would still lose my job. So.
Well, right, and that's what I'm saying. So that's the problem that we have is because, again, the issue is it's been 2 years, like I said.
Oh, I understand. I understand completely.
And so I know you're saying, hey, look, I do what I need to do, but, I mean, you've had 2 years to get this taken care of. And I'm not saying that,
yes.
You know, you didn't have a hard time having contact with your attorney, but I mean, I'll put it this way, Mr. Stroud. Had you just self-surrendered, said, hey, I needed to get this taken care of and I should have done that, it would be real easy for me to say, hey, look, I'll just release you then. Let's get you on your way. But unfortunately, I don't have that situation either. So, I mean, here's what I'll do. It's not probably exactly what you want, but maybe it's a little more doable for you. I'll reduce the bond to $1,500. It's just pretrial services supervision. It's not an ankle monitor. So, and again, it is secured appearance. You can work with a bail bonding company. Like I said, Generally, they require 10% plus collateral. It's $150. Maybe you've got some friends or family that can help you out with this, and maybe that makes it more doable. And, you know, hopefully you don't ever find yourself in this situation again. But like I said, just remember, it's always going to be better if you show, hey, look, I'm self-surrendering. I'm willing to take whatever responsibility I need to. That generally makes it really easy for me.
I understand
but for another
completely,
judge, okay?
And I appreciate you working with me a little bit.
Yeah, you're welcome, Mr. Stroud. Do you have any other questions?
No, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Eugene Helton and then Joanna Defer will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Eugene Helton, November.
Thank you, Mr. Helton. Mr. Helton, you're here on a Superior Court probation violation warrant. This is for alleged violations of terms 3, 4, 5, and 7. I have appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing October 16th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Helton, I am affirming bond. It is in the amount of $500. It's secured appearance. That means you can pay that amount directly or work with a bail bonding company. The amount is less than $1,000, so my understanding is that there are some bail bonding companies that won't work with that number, but there are some that will. I don't know what their terms would be, though. If you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you're not to possess any weapons. You must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department and contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Mr. Helton, do you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. The reason that I messed up on my probation in the first place was I was asked to go check myself into a program, and I refused to do it. You know, so that was my fault. I take responsibility for that. And but now, at this point in time, I've been accepted to 3 different programs: one Unhooked in Mesa, Recovery Village in Casa Grande, and TLCR in Casa Grande. So I just wanted to put that out there that as soon as I get things cleared up here, whatever that may be, I'm going straight. I'm probably going to go to the East Mesa one there on Power Road, Unhooked. So, and check myself in.
No, that, Mr. Helton, that sounds like a good idea. My understanding is that is a good program. And so, yeah, here's what I'll say is I wish the situation was different. I mean, this warrant does go back to March of this year, though. So,
right.
So I am going to keep the bond in place, but the probation judge, I mean, certainly you can provide that information to the probation judge. I don't know what the probation judge is going to do, but often they will give people additional chances to get things right. Again, I'm not making any promises, but that's just my experience.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Helton. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Juanis Defer and then Lindsay Smith will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Juanis Defer.
Thank you, Mr. Defer. Mr. Defer, you were seen earlier, in fact, early this morning, on a probation violation warrant. This is a warrant on your other probation matter,
Yes,
or
sir.
an alleged violation. So I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing October 16th, 8:30 a.m., downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I'm setting a cash-only bond amount of $250, so that's just added to the bond that you had this morning.
Okay.
And then you have, if you pay your bonds, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on the 16th and promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Mr. Defer, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.